I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heather, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Raditz.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Here.
Councilmember Lasky.
Here.
Mayor Sullivan.
Here.
Councilmember Keck.
Here.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Here.
Councilmember Ruzga.
Here.
City Manager.
Here.
City Attorney.
Here.
City Assessor. Here. DPW Director.
Here.
Finance Director.
Here.
Community Development Director.
Here.
Police Chief.
Here.
Fire Chief.
Here.
City Engineer.
Here.
Roll call complete.
Thank you. Citizens' comment on agenda-related items. Any citizen with correspondence to be distributed to council should provide items to city clerk prior to the start of the meeting or after the meeting has adjourned, limited to 5 minutes. Sir, anybody with?
Good evening, council members. On behalf of the Manistee Area Chamber of Commerce, I want to express our support for Poconos. Investment like this is vital to the growth of Manistee and the DDA district. And the Chamber's mission is to make doing business easier in Manistee County. Our support for Poconos reflects our commitment to local business retention and economic stability, not an intention to override your processes. We aim to provide guidance on potential economic impact and encourage collaborative problem solving between Poconos and the city of Manistee. Poconos is a local business contributing to tourism, jobs, and the vitality of downtown Manistee. Ensuring the business can operate securely allows it to grow, maintain staff, attract visitors, and remain a valued community asset. Their request for this parcel will allow a clean title for them to continue with business. And supporting it aligns with the Chamber's mission to encourage investment and stability to our local economy. As an RRC site, Poconos reflects county-led economic development efforts. Supporting its continued growth shows that Manistee is development-friendly and sends a positive message to other potential investors. We respectfully ask that council to approve the transfer of the land under the deck to Poconos. This will provide a clean title and help them improve and maintain their property. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Consent agenda. All items marked with an asterisk are considered by the city manager to be routine matters. Prior to approval, any member of city council may have an item removed and taken up during regular portion of the meeting. Items include approval of minutes, cash balances, revenue and expenses, balance sheet, quarterly financial update, quarterly investment report, consideration of tabling the conditional rezone from R1 to C2 for 555 First Street Armory Youth Project. At this time, council will take action to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Heather, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Raditz.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilmember Keck.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Ruzga.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Introduction of Planning and Zoning Administrator Madeline Kazmierski. Did I get it right? Okay.
Madam Mayor and City Council, we've also added our new administrative assistant we'd like to get over with. I'm honored to present the new members of our community development.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Van Allen. I'm the new administrative assistant for the Community Development Department. And I just wanted to say that it's been a great start. I'm eager to keep learning and to help support the city's growth. And I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Maddie Kazmierski, the city's new planning and zoning administrator, also new to Manistee. I just moved up from the Ann Arbor area, so last couple weeks I've been learning a lot about the city as a resident and as a new staff member, so I'm really excited to explore a bit more and to help contribute to all the growth that I've seen going on so far.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Consideration of a resolution to accept a Michigan Department of Natural Resources grant project TF 24-0185 to acquire parcel 5151-260-71007 on man-made lake In 2024, the city applied for and was awarded a Michigan Department of Natural Resources, MDNR, Trust Fund grant to acquire parcel 5151-260-71007 on Manistee on Man-Made Lake. The parcel is surrounded by city-owned property and will help to ensure the land is preserved for public outdoor recreation in the future. At this time, council could take action to approve the resolution to accept an MDR Trust Fund Grant Project TF 24-0185 to acquire parcel 5151-260-71007 on Man-Made Lake and authorize the city manager to sign the grant agreement. Is there a motion?
I'd make that motion.
I support it.
Any discussion?
I just think it was a long time in coming, and congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we
It's going to be a great addition.
had to wait for the state budget to pass in order to get the grant agreement, but as you can see, it's kind of the final piece to the puzzle of making that kind of an area for public recreation going forward. So, a couple more steps after this, we'll have to do an appraisal and then kind of a second appraisal, purchase agreement. So a few more steps, but this is a key one, getting the grant agreement.
Thank you. Heather, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Rezga.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Keck.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Raditz.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Consideration of the sale of the city marina property to Fricano's Manistee River LLC. Fricano's Manistee River LLC, owner of 440 River Street, would like to purchase a portion of the city-owned property that is beneath the attached deck directly adjacent to the north and west side of the building. The land is unbuildable and has been assigned a nominal value by the city assessor. A sale price of $375 represented half of the cost of the updated survey is proposed. The property, which includes the section, was acquired with the 1974 Michigan Department of Natural Resources, MDNR, Trust Fund grant. The sale would trigger a conversion requiring the city to complete a land replacement process or be penalized in future MDR grant scoring. If approved, staff will work with the city council and MDR to complete the conversion. At this time, city council could take action to approve the sale of the city property to Fricano's Manistee River LLC and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute all necessary sale and closing documents on behalf of the city. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
I have some questions on it. And Mr. Fricano's been a great asset to our community and a very nice man. And so it's not about him or anything, but I think, we work for all the taxpayers and not just one. And we just received a DNR grant for, what was it, $94,000. And I would hate to see us not be eligible for future grants or be limited to the grants because we sold this property. I think that would hurt all of the taxpayers than just one. So I'm not saying not to do it, but I think we have to have that conversion property, that we should have it identified because we also don't know the costs of what that future property that we have to buy to replace it. The city then would be under a timeline because we couldn't apply for a grant without that parcel, and the unknown of that is what we would have to pay for that parcel. So I'm just very concerned.
Thank you. If I could, I could just go through a few slides, just kind of give the public some background and I think address those concerns and questions. I'd like to outline the background, key considerations, benefits of the sale, and the next steps, provide context why the property sale is being revisited now. As the chamber, as Carmen from the chamber mentioned, in 2019, it was an RRC site that the city selected for revitalization. The DDA TIF plan emphasizes improving facades and decks connecting to the Riverwalk. The Fricano's deck currently functions as a connection linking River Street business to the Riverwalk, a goal stated in various documents. In 2021, the proposed land sale was for a larger deck expansion. This current proposed sale is just for the unbuildable land under the deck. It's approximately 10 feet to the west of the property and 10 feet to the north. The DDA invested $240,000 in the South Riverwalk improvements as the matching to the EDA grant. Fricano's project is the only one that completed an EDA connection. That was one of the objectives, to make a physical connection to the Riverwalk, and appreciate their support with that. As was mentioned by Councilmember Lasky, one of the considerations is this sale would trigger a conversion. City would need to identify approved land replacement of equal or greater value. This is a rendering from 1974 grant application. It's part of parcel C. The DNR, we've kind of floated different properties by them. One of them they're interested in was the Jefferson property. There's some other ones too that we can explore, but staff and I are comfortable we'd get through the process, we'd identify one and bring before council. I think this is kind of a first step at that. Regarding the partnership, Mr. Fricano has been an excellent partner with this project. It's a value-driven partnership. The Fricano project transformed a blighted building, proof that public-private collaboration works. As you can see from the property value growth, it had a true cash value of $32,800 in 2021. With the Oprah incentive, you'll see this broken down in terms of the true cash value, but the bottom line is a significant investment was made. As agreed, Ted Fricano graciously waited until the city were awarded several grants, the North Riverwalk grant for improvements there for over $300,000, and the one that was on tonight's agenda, the man-made lake acquisition, before requesting to purchase the land again, demonstrating a good partnership between the city and Mr. Fricano. One consideration too is that the new parcel will not receive Oprah benefits. There will be taxable value on the taxable value captured for the new frontage. Some takeaways. I think the deck fulfills an EDA Riverwalk connectivity goal and some other planning documents. I know there was some discussion about removal of the deck, but that is something that does help connect physically and socially the river street to the Riverwalk. The partnership showcases the city's ability to work productively with private investors. The tidal cleanup is one of the steps in the revitalization effort for this site, and the sale supports ongoing economic development momentum downtown. Thank you, and I appreciate Mr. Fricano's here tonight. I don't know if you want to add anything, but we'll take some questions and go from there.
My main concern is that the city has already expensed funds on several surveys, and there's also cost with any title transfer. $375 doesn't come anywhere close to what it'll eventually cost the city to go through a conversion process because of all those legal fees, having to do an environmental study. I mean, you might have to buy land. You don't know how the Jefferson property is going to go. It could take years and years or decades. It's not a good business move for the city, and I can understand Fricano's legitimate desire to get this cleaned up. But, I'm from the city's taxpayer perspective, and it's like we're putting the cart before the horse because we do not have a conversion property. And it's going to cost taxpayers tens of thousands of dollars to get one in place, if not six figures, if we had to actually buy a parcel. And we need to keep in mind we do not have a budget to purchase land. So, I don't have a problem if we had a conversion or some dollars to spend on the process, but we don't have either one of those. And, I'm kind of thinking there might be other options, and I know it would take more time, which is a problem, but, there's the Gateway Project land. I mean, maybe we can approach the tribe to give up some of that for conversion property. There's 6th Avenue, maybe that parcel there, we've had it for sale. Granted, that isn't legitimate, but maybe there be something worked out with Fricano's in selling that to them and then giving it to the city. I mean, I don't know, but I just think it's not a very wise move to not have any budgeted money for this process and make a commitment to doing it when it could take decades. I don't know. It just doesn't sound good from that perspective.
Yeah, confident we can work through the issues. There's some various sites, the city-owned property. We would have to add it to the Parks Master Plan, have a development plan for it, but I am confident we can get through the process.
Can I ask a question? I mean, when you say tens of thousands of dollars to the taxpayers, I'm Ted Furcano, 440 West, or 440 River. I will never allow the city taxpayers to take on a burden like this at all. So I have to trust Bill. If there is a way to do this inexpensively and simply, that is my goal. I would never want to put the burden of this on a taxpayer. I call myself but a humble busboy. I came to this town 7 years ago, and the building that I was going to buy didn't work out, and I built another restaurant. I was captivated by the city. 440 River will be the most successful restaurant in Manistee County someday. But if there's a simple, inexpensive way to do this, let's do it. If this takes some time and we have to put our thinking caps on to rent it to me for $1 a year, I mean, I'm just throwing ideas out. If there's a simpler way to do this and it takes another year or two, I will wait. I mean, what you just said to me contradicts some other things that I've heard. But if there's a simple way, should I just stand up here for a while until we decide, or what?
I think you're good. Do you have any more questions for him?
No, I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Thanks, Ted.
Thanks, Ted.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's got to be a win-win, and I think that Mr. Picano agrees, because you've been an asset to our community, but I think we can't jeopardize any future grants, and we've done very well on these grants. I would ever hate, and Blake, on that one letter, you said we cannot trade, I think under A, one of the requirements of a conversion is that we cannot use existing land. Was that correct, as far as a fair trade? To give that to the DNR and say it's going to be stated as park recreation in their requirements, but it couldn't be an existing piece. I believe you sent out a letter.
Well, let me just speak generally about the topic. Yeah, I mean, Natural Resources Trust Fund grant land cannot be used for any commercial purpose. It can only be used for public recreational purposes. Using it for commercial purposes is called a conversion. You have to cure the conversion. So to the extent that the land has been used for commercial purposes historically, a conversion has occurred. We would have to, there's a lengthy process for curing it. You have to find comparable land, go through the acquisition process.
They kind of have helped us, though, the DNR. I mean, that, until we sell it, they have allowed that use, the mixed use of it, to occur and not hinder us in the grant process, right? I mean, we did get this, we are getting grants, so I don't know.
Well, you know, I guess the concern is there's no budget, and I don't want to be forced into something down the road that might not be a good thing for the city. You know, we talk about the Jefferson School property, and we all know it's been brought up as a trade with Sands Park. Well, I don't want to be forced into a Sands Park trade because of this issue either. So I'm hoping, you know, because I agree, it's a good thing if Ficanos can get this, but I can't hurt the city to grant it as it stands. And that's why, you know, through communications, I've said, I hope we can work on this together, so it's, as someone said, a win-win.
Well, what I'm interested in is, for $375, does that take that whole deal under the deck, or is it just a portion of that? How much of this deck are we talking about?
Let me just bring it up.
I think you mentioned 10 feet to the north,
Yes.
10 feet to the west of the deck.
Oh, gosh. it's going to make us pay to rotate it, but if you want to see here, it's just this area, it's .031 acres. So it's, 9.62 feet to the north, and this one's approximately 10 feet to the west. So, and if you look at, there's also an enclosed porch underneath, so it's really just 10 feet off of that. So this one's actually, there's kind of some area underneath what would look like the deck, but it's really just 10 feet of the property.
I guess one thing that I'm questioning, it's been stated a couple times about access from the Riverwalk, but there truly isn't direct access from the Riverwalk. You have to go.
Yeah, there's a
up.
ramp, there's a bit of a ADA ramp, and then
Yes.
there's a connection, you're right, and it's not, but stairs weren't, it was more of a connection, make it a little bit easier to access a restaurant. So it's gonna depend on the site how easy it is, but it was one we were able to make. But I think the idea of that 6th Ave property, you're really trading the encumbrance of public use in perpetuity. So it's really, it is an opportunity to do like a neighborhood park or something like that. We've been kind of floating some ideas by the National Park Service, so working through the DNR. Unfortunately, that's not an option right now with the shutdown, but there's various, I think we could probably have a list of maybe 10 properties to work through with the DNR and the National Park Service once that reopens, once the government reopens.
Because, it may, being that, for example, the 6th Avenue parcel is larger, you could even negotiate the size of the parcel back, be a more equitable trade for both parties too. I mean, it kind of opens everything up. And I know the 6th Avenue, for example, parcels listed for 89,000, but didn't we have an offer for 69 not too long ago, and then the buyer canceled out?
Yeah, they couldn't find a way to build on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, maybe there's some negotiation that can happen.
Yeah, they typically want the whole parcel, so they'd want is what they've told us in the past. So,
Well, and I think the city would want the whole parcel. But at one time, Ficanos wanted a larger parcel too. So, you might be able to work something out along those lines. Because I don't want to spend maybe potentially decades through a conversion process. And that's certainly a lake property. It's right on the river.
yep.
There's still going to be costs because of having to do environmental studies and so on. So,
I'd like to know which property we're using before you do all this.
right.
I mean, he deserves to get this straightened out. You gotta know what you're grading.
So Ted, if we did table this or find it, did not pass it, would that negatively affect your business, your financing, or anything at this point? You've been gracious enough to say, hey, rent for $1, you can wait a couple years, make it simple, find a simple path. If this does not pass tonight, is that going to negatively affect your business?
You know what, I get your sincerity, and I get your sincerity, and I appreciate that a great deal. I received a letter the other day that wasn't really nice. It wasn't really thank you, we believe in you. It was perhaps we could just remove the deck. I mean, the deck is 90% of my business. I need happy, positive, optimistic city council people that will support this city. Because I look up and down the street, the River Street, and I see a lot of boarded up buildings that have been boarded up for 35 years. You got to wonder if they have gotten a letter like the one that I received from a city commissioner stating options to just, you should have known better, basically.
You received a letter from somebody in this council?
Yes. I appreciate your sincerity. I'm going to be happy because I'm looking at some people up here that are very, very pro-business and pro-growth. If you want to table this, I don't want the taxpayer to be impacted negatively by $1 That's how much I care for Manistee. Nobody's dropping 7 figures on a dump in downtown Manistee without wanting to be here forever and ever and ever and have a great deal of optimism for the city. So I absolutely will sit down with some city commissioners who want to come up, and Bill, who want to come up with a beautiful, wonderful way to negotiate. But I don't have 10, 15, 20,000, I don't have $2,000 to buy dirt. I've already spent probably $10,000 to $15,000 of my own money preventing the erosion that was under that deck, that was caused by various elements outside of Fricano's Muskegon Lake. I took it upon myself to fix the problems under that deck on my own dime, and I would have done it again, and I would do it tomorrow. But I just need some nice people to say, Ted, thank you for doing what you've done in the city. We want to help you. That's what I want. And if it isn't decided today, I'm cool with that. But it has to be, we have to come up with a plan, please.
Hey, Ted,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Let's come up with the plan then. I agree with what he said, and come up and work together and get that. That property needs to be yours, and it's not a fit with anybody else. I mean, and it's not like it's listed for sale, so it needs to be yours, but
I'm hearing uncertainty. Nobody wants to be uncertain here. I will make the suggestion to table this, to take the pressure off of you, so we can come up with a nice plan that Bill is happy, that most of you are happy, and I'm happy, and my children who are 16, 18, and 20 will be happy to get clean title. Why don't we just table this for a few more months? I don't even care.
I think the 6th, there's multiple sites, but I do think, I think we could approve the sale contingent on finding an appropriate conversion property, replacement land. And I think I might want just maybe the mayor, I can work with you on, I probably need some council buy-in when we select that, because I don't want to be back here in a couple of months and then that's not the right one, or I think we just need a little group to kind of come up with that piece of property, because we have multiple options. It's just a matter of getting the National Park Service to buy into it, but they ask for a lot of information, and it's not necessarily a quick turnaround from them either, so.
Okay. So how do you, Blake, do we need to amend this to make it contingent upon?
Well, I mean, right now you have a motion to approve on the floor. You would need to take action later to purchase the property you wanted to do the conversion for. I guess I wouldn't suggest making the sale contingent on finding the property. I think it just might cause issues for the sale.
And I would think I would try to pursue, we have various city-owned parcels that could be converted. So you're really just putting that encumbrance on city-owned lands, that it will be a public. We've had some ideas about purchasing, but I think hearing from council about not wanting to spend money, I think the first step would be going through a list of city-owned properties to put that encumbrance on and have a pocket park and put that in the parks master plan. So that would be my first objective.
I can't make a motion, so I
Well,
don't know how
that
you
being
want me.
said, we're still in the discussion portion. I feel like this can has been kicked down the road so many times that I'm wary about this council not taking some definitive action to resolve this. I know that when we hear from our downtown development agency that this is about the city's trustworthiness and an investment potential with area businesses. I'm hearing what you're saying about businesses being shuttered for 30 years, because I worry that there was a previous council who thought that by putting this off again and again and again, somewhere there would be a solution. And here's our downtown, right, that we have right now. This has been an issue, not just with this council, but with previous councils. I feel like I'm feeling really frustrated that this council yet again is going to kick this down the road until there's some property. I'm hearing that this could be months. I'm hearing that this could be years to get all the approvals for a correct conversion. And while I appreciate your forbearance and your grace, saying that you don't want this council to take that upon themselves. I feel like you've already shouldered a great deal of this responsibility. So I just want to put my 2 cents in that this has been going on long enough and this needs to be resolved regardless of the property, whether the property to convert is put before us at this time or not.
So,
Ted put trust in us, in our city. I am deeply concerned to hear that you received a threatening, semi-unprofessional email or call or letter from a council member. That bothers me.
It wasn't threatening, it was, you should have known better, I've done this forever and I've never done this. And the tree that I removed, which I didn't remove that, the tree, there was a tree that was being, this is so off topic, but you know what, when you drop 7 figures into a restaurant, I don't expect people to fall all over me. I'm desensitized to criticism. When you own restaurants, you get Yelp and TripAdvisor and Google reviews, but I hope you got permission to remove that tree. That tree had fallen over because of the erosion that was being caused by the elks. I took it upon myself to remove a tree that had fallen over, that the root system was eroding up into the elk's property. The tree fell. I removed the tree. The roots were causing massive the dirt was flowing into the Riverwalk, and I got a letter every 6 weeks, do this or else. I took care of the tree. I don't need to read, I hope you got permission to remove that tree. That's not nice. That's not nice. It should have been, thank you. Thank you for enhancing. I never got one positive word. Thank you for taking 440 River and turning it into a wonderful place. We will work with you. So, I mean, is the answer going to be yes, and Bill figures out a conversion and I pay $375? But if the answer is no, then what? It just sits there forever? And then am I going to have a conversation? There's crabgrass growing under my deck. Don't send me the letter anymore. You guys take care of it. I'm not going to operate that way. I'm going to remove the crabgrass. But do I have to be weird like that? There's erosion under the deck. Every 6 weeks I got a letter from some nice beautification woman. I don't know who that is. Erosion is causing the dirt to go on the Riverwalk. It took many attempts to fix that. Finally, it's fixed. What's the answer? Yes? $375? I'd love it to be. But again, this is a sticky thing. I don't want the taxpayer to be charged $1. Quite honestly, this is almost embarrassing. I've been dealing with dirt under a deck for 3.5 years, and obviously you guys have been dealing with it for 30 years. I don't know what the answer is. I would hope maybe that all of us could sit together for 7 days and figure out an answer and come back on the 8th day and say, here's the answer. So I don't know. I'm going to just stand up here until you decide.
I'm all set, thank you.
Okay.
I do appreciate you being here and speaking. I think it's really helpful.
Well, I'm a wonderful person.
are we,
Believe me. I would never, ever, and maybe we all needed to meet each other ahead of time.
are we ready to vote
So
then?
one thing I could offer is if it did pass today, we could set up an ad hoc group. I'm committed to finding a replacement piece of land as quickly as possible at the lowest cost as possible.
Heather, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Raditz.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilmember Keck.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Ruzga.
Yes, because Bill said he's going to take care of the conversion as soon as possible.
Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
McConnell.
Ted.
Consideration of authorizing.
Thank you for all you've done. Funding.
Thank you. Consideration to authorize additional funding for investigation of PFAS mitigation originating from the former city landfill site and amend the refuse budget. The city submitted a remedial investigation report to the Michigan Department of Environmental Great Lakes and Energy Eagle regarding the groundwater contamination originating from the former city landfill site. City staff and Fishbeck met with Eagle in July to review the report. Eagle recommended additional delineation work to better define the plume boundaries. The next step includes vertical aquifer profiling, sampling in areas to appear to be outside the edge contamination to help confirm the plume boundaries. The estimated cost for this phase is 105.2. 90,000 was budgeted for the fiscal year 2026 budget, but sufficient funds are available in the refuse fund to balance to cover the additional amount. At this time, City Council could take action to authorize additional funding for the investigation of PFAS mitigation originating from the former city landfill site and amend the refuse budget accordingly. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
Do we
Oh, I
know?
thought, go ahead.
Oh. So after we do this step, what's the next step? Does anyone know? I mean, I know you might not be prepared for that question.
So Aaron's here from Fishback, and we have an estimated boundary for the plume, and it does come down to Eagle feeling comfortable that we've accurately identified the boundaries. And so I think, there's an arrow here showing the movement of the water. I'll let Aaron get more technical about this, but we're hopeful that doing some vertical aquifer profiling testing, we can determine the extent of the contamination and verify that it isn't past the known the assumed boundary at this point.
So I can kind of give you a little bit of background on this. It stems back to, I think, October 2020. For those of you who are new to the council, Eagle went out to this landfill, which is the kind of the yellow square you're seeing in the lower right corner of the image on the screen, and did their own vertical aquifer sampling in a couple locations, which essentially they're just collecting samples from the groundwater begins about 50 feet below ground down to like 90 feet. They're collecting samples through that whole interval to see what's going on. They found PFAS, like a decent amount. It's pretty clear that the landfill itself is a source of that in the groundwater, and they sent a letter to the city indicating that, this is your property, and as a liable party, you're obligated to investigate the contamination in the groundwater and make sure that nobody's being affected by it, nobody's drinking it, because those concentrations were well above acceptable drinking water limits. So over the last couple of years, Fishback has been out there a few times, kind of doing a stepwise approach to investigating. Started out with some shallow groundwater sampling throughout the area to kind of coincide with the shallower impacts, which is where most of them were on the landfill property, and kind of over time narrowed it down to the area that you see in the image. That kind of that red outer boundary is our estimated extent of PFAS contamination out there right now in the groundwater. And Eagle has kind of come back to us and said that they'd like to see a little bit more vertical delineation of those impacts. So we're showing that this is how far they extend when we look at them in the plan view, but there were some lower level detections in the deeper aquifer during their initial sampling, and they just want us to make sure that those aren't extending off someplace into the distance. So this kind of next step to address that is some additional vertical aquifer sampling. One location is within that rectangle, and it's a relatively large area because it's a little up in the air where we're going to be able to get access to put a point. It's wherever they'll let us, the property owners. And then the other location is right along Red Apple Road, that yellow circle.
How far is it from Red Apple Road to
There should be a scale at the bottom of the map. About 500 feet.
Okay, that's a township road.
Yeah.
Down here.
Red Apple Road to
To the thing. Because a couple of years ago, we had asked about this, and then Bill remembers we had asked they wanted to put more monitoring wells in, and they did. We paid quite a price for that. And so, I'm surprised but if it's deeper, there's not much we can do. Because I've asked the neighbors around there if they've had anything affect them.
Right, the DHHS sampled the residents along, I think, Maple and Murky Road in 2021, and
Yeah.
they didn't. There was maybe one detection, and it was super low. So.
Yep.
no indication that it's making it into anyone's drinking water wells, but Eagle wants everything firmed up in a nice package because there's been a lot going on with PFAS lately, so they've had a lot of uproar, and they want all their I's dotted and their T's crossed.
Oh, yeah, and we want to get it done too, because it's
Right.
costing us a lot of money.
Yeah.
So this neighborhood is on city water, it's not well water here, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
Good, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. Heather, do you guys have any other questions at all? Heather, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Rezga.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Keck.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan. Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Raditz.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Considerations of applications to boards and commission. The city clerk has taken action to advertise vacancies on the Airport Authority, Compensation Commission, Harbor Commission, Neighborhood Restoration Beautification Commission, Planning Commission, and Zoning Board of Appeals. The mayoral and manager appointments require a motion, second, and council vote of support. Nominations for council appoints do not require a second. After all nominations are made, council votes on the nominees until one nominee receives the majority support. Following applications have been received. Airport Authority, one vacancy, term ending 12/31/28. Purpose, this is the city's nomination to the County Airport Authority for the 2026 to 2028 term. Mayoral appointment, George Becker, 568 Bryant Avenue. Harbor Commission, two vacancies, terms ending 10/31/28. Purpose of advisory of marina harbor development issues. This is a council appointment. Wesley Smith, 278 3rd Avenue. At this time, mayor and council could take action to appoint appointments as noted. The Airport Authority, I would like to appoint George Becker, 565 Bryant Avenue, to the term ending 12/31/28. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Heather, would you please take roll?
Councilmember Raditz.
Do I say the name or yes?
You can just say yes.
Yes.
Or no. Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Yes.
Councilmember Keck.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Rezga.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Harbor Commission, is there a nomination?
I nominate Smith.
A second? Support?
Heather, would you please take roll?
And on this, you will state the last name.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Councilmember Raditz.
Smith.
Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Smith?
Councilmember Lasky.
Smith.
Mayor Sullivan. Councilmember Keck.
Smith.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Smith.
Councilmember Rezga.
Smith.
Nomination approved.
Boy. Okay, now we will have a report from the Manistee County Community Foundation. Ms. Laura Heitzelman.
Press the down arrow to advance.
Is that a PowerPoint?
On the PDF, it should be a way to make it. If you go on the right arrow there, at the top, hit view. On the upper left side, go to view. And go to full screen mode. Go down. One more. There you go. Great, thank you. Good evening, Mayor Sullivan, Mayor Pro Tem Smith, council members. It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate the opportunity. My name is Laura Heinzelman. I'm the president and CEO of the Manistee County Community Foundation. I'll be talking a little bit about the purpose of the foundation, some of our recent activities and highlights. For those of you who aren't aware, we were established back in 1987 by a group of community leaders who envisioned a bright future for our community and believed that by establishing a local vehicle for giving, they could help the community then and for future generations. And we're incredibly grateful to this group of leaders for their foresight. Today, we remain grateful for a dedicated group, our board of directors, who provide oversight and accountability, legal, fiduciary duties, and of course, governance and strategy in support of the foundation and its mission.
We're powered by a professional team of 5, and we're excited to be adding to that team sometime this fall, adding a communications and donor services position. Hopefully you have interacted with one or more of our team members in different ways, and really proud to have this dedicated group of professionals on our side. We have a number of advisory committees that help guide the work of the foundation, but one I want to highlight tonight is our Youth Advisory Council, or YAC, as we fondly refer to them, a group of youth philanthropists. They're high school students from across the county that are serving as our local panel of experts on the needs and opportunities that face our area youth. They're involved in service projects and helping to grow the endowment, and of course, in recommending grants out of the Youth Endowment Fund at the foundation. Our mission as a community foundation is to enhance the quality of life across Manistee County for all Manistee County residents today and in the future. We do that in 3 primary ways. The first is building a lasting source of community capital, primarily through endowed funds. We're awarding grants and scholarships out of those funds to help meet local needs. And thirdly, serving as a convener and a catalyst for positive change. The Community Foundation is unique in a couple of respects. One is that we're the only entity serving Manistee County that's focused on improving all aspects of life. So our view is quite broad. And second, that we are a permanent institution. We are for good forever, as we like to say. And so we have that long-term horizon, that view of really looking to the future as well. This is a really busy slide, but there's one thing in particular I would like you to take away from it. Out of all of the funds at the foundation, and there are about 100, 93% of those are designated for a particular charitable purpose. And while that's wonderful, we have so many local organizations and programs that we're really proud and grateful to support. I do want to point out that only 7% of our funds are undesignated, meaning flexible, can be applied strategically in support of unknown needs. And one of the reasons that that's so important is going back to our permanency, our perpetual nature, is that we can't anticipate today what the needs of our community are going to be 20, 50, 100 years from now. And so those flexible funds are critical for us being able to be relevant far into the future. But that said, the Community Foundation is comprised of funds that support all different aspects of life, as well as different types of funds. So some might be set up by a nonprofit organization for their own mission. Others are set up by third-party donors in support of programs or charitable purposes that they would like to further. And some are particular types, such as a scholarship fund. Others are donor-advised funds, where the donors stay really active, involved in recommending charitable purposes of their funds. And at the bottom, that big green section that you see are what we call field of interest funds. So those are not specific, but also not unrestricted, so they're an area of life. So an example would be arts and culture or the environment. And in particular here, I want to point out a fund that I'm sure you've heard about, the Minger Family Endowment Fund. That comprises just over half of the Community Foundation's assets. So sometimes you will hear questions, does the Community Foundation only care about recreation? And of course, the answer is no. We do care about recreation, but it is really the fact that it is a large portion of the Community Foundation's assets. So as we look to grow and look to the future, we are committed to continuing to meet the needs of our donors, but also looking to diversify the funds that we have and to grow that pool of undesignated funds so that we can be strategic in meeting the unknown needs of the future. About 98% of our assets are permanently endowed. So again, just shy of $40 million at the end of last year. So primarily a permanent endowment. However, we do have funds that support special projects, capital campaigns, other needs that are shorter term. As we look back on 2024, some highlights that I wanted to share, through the growth of contributions and a growth of our investment returns, we have continued to grow the amount that we have available to grant out to the community, which is the figure that we're really focused on. So getting close to $900,000 in grants and scholarships awarded back into the community, and we're incredibly grateful for our donors and others that have contributed over the years to help make that possible. Really excited to share that we awarded a $200,000 impact investment last year, and next I'll talk a little bit about what that is. Impact investing is a relatively new program of the Community Foundation. In late 2022, our board set aside 5% of our endowment to invest locally rather than traditionally in the stock market and in our long-term portfolio, believing that we could have a profound impact beyond our grant making by investing a portion of our assets on Main Street, so to speak. And we have done that working primarily through intermediaries. We are looking for both a financial return and a social return on investment with these dollars. And that 5% is about $1.5 million that's currently in our impact investing pool. Our initial impact investments totaled about $700,000. We have worked with community development financial institutions, which are a certain type of financial institutions. They themselves are 501c3s, charitable organizations, and they're working to make capital more accessible to underserved communities or to those who might not normally be able to access capital needed for their businesses. And our primary partners have been Venture North Funding Development and Northern Initiatives. So we have made loans to them, and they are in fact making loans to small businesses within the city and across Manistee County. So we're really excited to see that program taking shape. The third is that we have made our first loan to a nonprofit. We're proud to have worked with Manistee County Habitat for Humanity to help support their first workforce development home. And I should note that they have since closed and repaid that loan in full. Whoops, wrong direction. You're aware of our grant program, hopefully, but if not, I want to point out that we have 2 grant cycles each year, typically in the spring and fall, with some grants available throughout the calendar year. They support a wide variety of community needs, and we have been proud to have worked with the city on a number of projects in the past, and we hope that you'll keep coming back to share opportunities with us in the future. This slide points out in general grant making by area of life, and again, a nod back to that prior slide. Shouldn't be any surprise that about 60% of our grants support recreation, about 60% of our funds are related to recreation. 17% education, a lot of those are scholarship related, but not all. And then 23% is everything else. So that's arts and culture, health and human services, the environment, and so much more. Again, noting Mr. Minger and the incredible and profound impact he's already had on our community through his remarkable estate gift, establishing the Minger Family Endowment Fund, and we look forward to so much opportunity out ahead with that. The other is the Limitless Fund, which is our primary undesignated fund that provides us with those flexible funds to be able to meet a diverse array of community needs. I want to point out a few funds that do impact the city directly, and that's of course the Ramsdell Preservation Fund, the Manistee Non-Motorized Trail Park Fund. Blossom Boulevard, we know it's not active this year, but we're hoping after the US 31 project is complete, there will be new opportunities there. And of course the Veterans Memorial Park Fund. I'll just share that I think there is great opportunity to grow all of these funds and also to establish new funds, endowments, and potentially otherwise in support of city assets. So I'd welcome the opportunity to talk about those opportunities anytime. And highlighting some of our recent points of collaboration around grants and other projects. We were really proud to be one of the collaborators around the recent Riverwalk enhancements. And then in the middle there, really, it was fun to be able to finally recognize through a plaque those who have been a part of honoring so many veterans. So this plaque, if you haven't visited it within the city park, is really a nod to those that have worked so hard over the years to find ways to enhance the park itself by adding monuments and plaques that honor our area veterans. So that was a great addition we worked together on this past year. And then on the far right there would be our partnership for the non-motorized trail park, working with the Shoreline Cycling Club and the city to add the new storage shed, which is going to house some really important equipment and help to make the maintenance there much easier. So it's been a pleasure to work with city staff and all the partners involved on these projects. Switching gears again to our scholarship program, we have one scholarship cycle each year. We'll be announcing that soon, a little later this fall. It's open between January and March each year. We're proud that last year we awarded 38 scholarships totaling $150,000, and we renewed several prior awards. So we're so thrilled that through the generosity of our donors, we're able to make more and more multi-year awards each year, which are so helpful for helping our students persist and succeed in their post-secondary options. And I do want to talk about the third aspect of our mission, that around convening and leadership. And one of the primary ways we've been working to do that over the past, since 2012, is through the Launch Manistee Network, which is our county's cradle to career county-wide educational network. And of course, our school partners are at the table, and we're grateful for that. But we've also had a number of community partners at the table because we're all accountable for the education of our children and our community, and we're finding ways to partner and do so much more together. And so those primary areas that we're working together are around early childhood education, helping students with post-secondary pathways, all of the pathways and options after they leave high school, and then workforce development and degree credential attainment. And I want to point out the challenge that our city, our county, the state, the nation, really, we're all facing around childcare. Families are struggling here in our community to find childcare that is affordable, that is quality, that is aligned with their needs. At the same time, the cost is too high for providers to provide and for families to afford. And so it's incredibly challenging to open and sustain programs. And I'm grateful that we have been building a growing coalition around this called the Raising Manistee County Coalition, and was thrilled to add the City of Manistee and Manistee County as new partners within the last year or two, because we have a work plan. We're working around 4 primary goals. The first is to build the workforce, right? The second is to build this network of support and increase investment in the system. The third is to help make it a universal system so it's easy to access and navigate. And fourth, we want to increase the child care supply. So we have been very pleased to have worked with community members to receive 2 Office of Rural Prosperity grants, and they have helped us move this work forward. We have also established a Raising Manistee County Child Care Solutions Fund at the foundation that has helped to support that work. So with the first grant, we were able to provide scholarships to help educate the workforce and sustain the workforce. We've been able to support the Michigan TriShare program to help increase affordability. And we have been able to provide some infant toddler startup grants to increase access and supply. And more recently, we are working on the Manistee County Zoning Solutions Grant, and the city was an instrumental partner in helping to bring this project to fruition. We worked with the city Community Development Office, Planning Zoning Department, the Manistee County Planning Department. We're working with the Chamber of Commerce, and we've engaged Networks Northwest. And so we are working to help create a more childcare-friendly Manistee County community and within the city, and to ultimately increase that supply. And so we're going through a process right now to look at zoning ordinances, to recommend updates, and to provide that hand-holding and support and assistance all along the way. So we're thrilled that the city has hired a new zoning administrator and look forward to working with the team on that project out ahead. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions you may have for me, and I want to thank you again for your partnership and support around this work. It's been a pleasure working with the city, and we look forward to more work ahead.
Thank you. Do you guys have any questions?
Just thank you for that childcare information. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's really, we really need it.
We do.
Next is the homeless people.
Yes, we've got work to do there as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Agreed. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Okay, now we will, another Laura Ortiz-Lavelle for the Ramsdale Regional Center for the Arts.
Wow, tough act to follow, but here I go. Okay, good evening. Thank you so much for allowing me to come tonight and share a year in review from the Ramsdale Regional Center for the Arts. I'll go here. Tonight, I'm excited to highlight our exhibits, performances, youth programs, community collaborations, and to tell you about the steps we're taking to ensure both artistic excellence and financial stewardship. Go this way. So here we go, a year in a glance, at a glance. Or maybe not.
Down arrow?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oops, now it's too far. Sorry about that.
The battery's gone, maybe.
Okay, Laura, what'd you do?
Oh, it's just delayed.
Okay. All right, so our year in numbers. We've had 7 exhibits. Actually, we just finished our 8th one. 28 concert performances, 3 of the Manistee Civic Players theatrical performances, 2 public historic tours. And just so you know, we do give those tours twice a year, the big historic ones. And those are in July and in December, so one will be coming up soon. We had 187 private tours, and what I mean by that is groups will call us and book a time where they could come in and get a big tour, but also those individuals who walk in and just want a tour, a couple of people at a time, and we always try to accommodate everybody. The 187 is our tally mark from when we started really keeping track, and that was only 6 months ago. And so that's been about 2,000 guests who have come in within those 6 months. We've had 35 rentals, 10 of them being weddings. It is our 2nd year for the Creativity Art Camp, 8 Mad Opera viewings, 3 National Theater Live, 11 workshops, and another season of talks, tunes, and tours. And I feel like I should add in a partridge in a pear tree here, but here we go. So our exhibits, like I said, we hosted 7 of them. Our 8th one just finished. We are having a new one open on this Friday. It is called Snow Snake 2025. There are 16 artists. I would like to personally take a moment and invite all of you to our opening reception, which starts at 5 o'clock this Friday, 5 to 7, step in. Most of the artists will be there. I'm sure they will enjoy talking to you and showing you their beautiful artwork. Okay. Oh, and then the artistic committee has been meeting. They are just about ready to announce a next season's exhibits. Our performances. So we had 28 performances throughout the year, a mix of local theater, music, guest performances. We've had speakers, guest speakers in there. The music has ranged from country to jazz to rock, and just a little bit about everything. And it's going up. So we've been a little quiet for a couple months. And that was because during this time, it was our wedding season. So we might not have had concerts, but we've been extremely busy. Our next performance will be the opening of Nutcracker, which is Sleigh Bell Weekend. We do have next season. I was going to announce next season tonight, but I'm still signing and negotiating contracts, so I can't quite announce that. But when we get it ready, it will be going on our website. We want to put those tickets up for sale right away. I just want you to know, though, speaking of our website, it is not a very pretty website, and it is not very user-friendly. And we are in the process right now of changing that over. It should be done end of this week or beginning of next week, and then all of our new shows and performances and workshops will be added. So I hope you'll check that out. Creativity Art Camp. This was the 2nd year for this. Last year they launched it. It did so well. We only had 1 week of this camp. It was ages 8 through, I believe, 17, and it sold out right away. So this year they decided to split up the groups, And so we had 2 weeks of it. The first week sold out immediately. The second week, the older kids, it was almost full, but there was a couple conflicts with theater camp and stuff like that. So they are changing the dates for this next year. We don't want to compete against what the school is offering. We want to promote and enhance what our community is offering, so we are changing our dates. The great thing about Art Camp this year is that we received a scholarship from the Youth Advisory Council. We received a grant, and with that grant, we were able to offer scholarships. And it was a wonderful year, and we're so glad. It was also a grant to help us to continue this program, and it's going to be working out great. Okay. Oh, I missed this. I jumped here. Oh, sorry. I got the hang of it. Okay, community collaborations. So this year we partnered with the Manistee County Library, and it was wonderful. We've brought in some authors, we've brought in music, we've brought in Lego night, and we have also brought in sound bath meditation, who's been there multiple times. And it has just been a great collaboration with the library. They are our neighbors right across the street. It's wonderful that they are able to come in and use our space. We're able to get in a whole new group of people who have never been into the Ramsdale, some have, and it's just been wonderful to continue that partnership. We also collaborated with the Armory Youth Project. 2 years in a row, we helped them bring in the annual Arts and Crafts Show. This year, we're expanding it to a local theater. It's called Act One. It is a youth-led one-act play festival, and it's awesome. It's going to be from starting at the Armory, and it's going to teach students how to write a play, how to pick their actors, and how to do the movement and everything. And then eventually they move over to the Ramsdale, and we will teach them the text side, and then they will do their performance there. We've partnered with Music Sparks Meaning, which is Roots on the River, to be their backup venue. We have been partnered with them for a few years and haven't had to host them. But this year we got to host them once when it was a rain out. And luckily we had Delilah DeWild, and that was their biggest crowd. We had about 125 people in Hardy Hall, and it's a wonderful partnership for the two of us. We want to promote music. Somebody asked me if I thought we had too much music in Manistee. And I don't want to know that person, because how could you possibly have too much music? And I don't believe in competing. The Ramsdale tries our best to promote those music venues. We don't do, for the most part, Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, or Saturday, because that is when our music downtown is happening. And I know there's music different places, and we're going to cross over on somebody, but we try to limit to Friday nights so that we can promote those other venues. Then we also partnered with the Chamber of Commerce and the City of Manistee to bring in the 99 Pines presentation, and I hope that you guys were able to attend that. They were at the Ramsdale for the program, and we got to talk to the family, and it was a beautiful day. It was a wonderful event. They went down to 99 Pines for the unveiling of the marker, and then came back for a reception, and that is a beautiful piece of history for Manistee, and I'm so happy that we were part of honoring that. And then we are also trying to develop new partnerships with other groups, and one of them is with the Maple Ridge Manor to bring small performances and live music to their residents. So this year, we have had 35 rentals, 10 of them being weddings. Our weddings are on an upward trend. This is great. It's great news for us because it's a very wonderful venue. It's a rental, I kind of lost my words here, but it brings in money, okay? And next year, I already have 8 weddings booked. We have 10 rentals, but then 18 so far. And this is great. So it was recommended by City Council, but also something that board had recommended about us and our pricing. And I just want you to know, I did listen to you, Bill. I have a list of venues they're comparable to us. And I've been calling people, I have been visiting venues, finding out what their pricing is, finding out what their bar is, and because we know that we can change what we do. We've had a menu that we've done for a long period of time, and it's okay to update it and to keep us, comparable to what our competition is doing. So we're in the process of doing that, and also the process of changing our bar. Okay. Oh, and then, well, I'll tell you this here in just a second. I'm so excited about this part. Our financial overview. Now, I kind of gave you sweet and simple here. Last year, at about this time, and this year. So we have revenue and expenses. And last year, you see, we had about $140,000 in revenue, and then we had about very close to it in expenses. This year, our revenue is about 122 at this time. And also, my numbers for this year are not a full October. So our first quarter, it's only a partial October. So, and then expenses, we've kept the expenses down by just watching how I spend every penny, and payroll. Because, you know, now that we've got this new contract and we love that we're working with the city and that you are assisting us this way, I think we're on the right track. And it's been a first time in a long time where I haven't had to panic over what was going on at the Ram sale. And so we're very happy about that. And also, during this time, we have brought in a fund development personnel, and she is helping us set up our ask, you know, our sponsorships, our donations, our long-term donations. We have quite a few people who we've been in talks with who give money every year, but you're asking them. And so now they're setting up where it's an automatic $1,000 every year at this time, you know, and that's how we sustain ourselves long-term. And everything in between, she's working on that, and I think we're on the right path of, you know, where we need to be. Okay, let me go this here. My gratitude, the Pillar Project that the city has been working on for a while. When that finally took place, I think the whole city was just celebrating, but the Ramsdale especially. It looks beautiful, so thank you everybody. We are so happy. We've had 5 weddings in a row, okay? Busy there. I didn't touch anything, sorry. 5 weddings in a row, and every single one of those brides and grooms were out there taking pictures in those pillars. And I try to post them, I get permission, I try to post them after every wedding, and they love them because they're beautiful, and I'm so proud of them, and I'm so extremely grateful to the city of Manistee for your continued support of our history. Okay, let's see here. And then, upcoming event, we do have the Nutcracker. I would like to once again personally invite all of you. It opens Sleigh Bell Weekend, December 5th, and the next weekend. Friday and Saturday, 7:30. Sunday is a 2 p.m. matinee. We hope you'll join us. We also have a delayed, but we do have Met Opera starting this Sunday, and we're happy to have that once again this year. And let's see. And then thank you. I have this picture of the trees here. It is the Festival of Trees. We are so excited to be the host site for Festival of Trees. I just want you to know too that last year we brought the Festival of Trees down to Hardy Hall as well. So the ballroom is full, Hardy Hall is full, and this year in Hardy Hall we have the Snow Stake exhibit, we have the Gingerbread Village, the Festival of Trees, and we also have a Nutcracker Boutique. So, and then we have a couple of workshops going on. So we're going to be very busy, and I hope that you will join us for one of those. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Citizens' comment. This is an opportunity for citizens in attendance to comment on municipal services, activities, or other areas of city involvement, limited to 5 minutes. Letters submitted to council will not be publicly read.
I would like to address the council with the 279 First Street property that I own, that the Friends Who Care, which is a state-funded agency to help people that are infirm and need other needs. Anyways, this comedy has been going on now 4 months. The first 3 we were had no entrance at all. We had basically a pile of sand, and every time it rained, a mud hole. So then they finally put plywood on that. Well, finally, I did send the mayor and the manager and Spicer a notice that once they completed the ramp in the stoop, we had a 14-inch drop that at some point somebody's going to go off the edge, and lo and behold, when that suit starts, I'm going to give it to you or make sure that I'm not involved in it. Anyways, finally, I got a call from the manager today that the custom railing was being installed this afternoon. The problem is, out of the 10 mounting brackets, 4 are not even touching the ground. They're anywhere from 1.5 inches to 2 inches off. The front mounting bracket that should have 4 bolts can only accept 2 because 2 are in a seam. The mounting bracket nearest the building is sitting on the expansion material that's usually something you put between two pieces of concrete so that it has some pliability. And then finally, the stoop has been in there less than a month and it's cracked. So that tells me that no compacting was done. The initial work that was done on a substandard, and certainly this custom railing is substandard. And if it isn't taken off and redesigned, I don't want that thing on my property because somebody is going to fall. And I'm putting you people on notice that you've been advised of that. And then finally, it's November 5th. The concrete in front of the fire station, which is 11 by 70, so that's 770 square feet, has already been ripped out once. And now you have a big hole on the corner, which supposedly we're waiting for a storm drain, which should have been put in long before the blacktop was put in, and a water line. Why? I just can't understand why stuff is done backwards. And not only that, but every handicap sidewalk that was put in, it's my understanding that almost all of them had to be ripped out. The 8 manholes, once the pavement was put in, there's at least 8 that I counted, had to be cut out, lifted up, and then re-cemented around. That's after, I don't know how many thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars was spent on the blacktop. So anyways, and I told Bill this, I'm not going to accept that railing in the condition it's in unless it's taken back off and redesigned and put in properly. You can keep it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Mr. Campbell?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Mr. Roscoe?
In the packet, I forget which part, Asher Oil royalties not being paid. I guess, how does that happen? Like, did they quit pumping or what?
Councilmember Roscoe, I can address that. We discussed that at the Oil and Gas Board meeting last week, but there was a transition in ownership of those assets. And this happened the last time when Aztec Oil, who was the 2 owners ago, sold it out to Hound Resources. They take quite a while to get their accounting switched over and up to speed. I've been in communication with them. We'll continue to be in communication with them. We're also working with Hound. I expect we should be getting some royalties soon. If we don't get those, then the next step is to contact the state and the regulator and/or have the city attorney send them a letter.
Okay, thank you. And then, just to reiterate, the Ramsdale Snow Snake event from 5 to 7, we serve wine and hors d'oeuvres, if that'll entice you too. And they have things like paintings, photography, jewelry, and other mediums for sale. And a portion of the sales goes to the Ramsdale. So that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Grabowski?
Okay, 2 things. First of all, I want to thank everybody that voted for me. I got all my signs out of your yard, so you don't have to worry about them. The second thing is, I'd like to thank give my condolences to the DDA and the chamber for Mr. Ellen has passed away, and it's always sad for a family to go through that. So I hope accept my condolences.
Ms. Keck?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Ms. Raddatz?
Just very grateful for the presentations we had tonight about all the things happening at the Ramsdale. And of course, I can never hear enough about quality child care and access to affordable care in our area. So thank you so much for sharing that message.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
Just a shout out to Heather and her staff. Good job with the election.
Yes.
Because Jim and I won.
Ms. Lask?
Just, are we still using the Granicus software, Jerry, and any update on the numbers or anything? Just a quick.
I am still using it. I don't have any updates at this time. I wasn't prepared to look at it in just a tad bit since I've been a little bit understaffed.
Okay.
I'll be glad to get you some numbers and send them over through Bill.
Good to get us some. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
No.
Okay, I just want to say congratulations to Jim and Wes on your reelection, and condolences to Mr. Allen and his family. That's, I mean, obviously a huge blow to his family, but a huge loss for the DDA in the city. I'm very saddened to hear about his death. So that I will, well, oh, sorry, forgot. Consideration of a closed session, attorney-client privilege communication, request to convene a closed session pursuant to Open Meetings Act, PA 267 of 1976, pursuant to MCL 15.2681, to discuss attorney-client privilege communications dated October 31st, 2025. At this time, council can take action to proceed to closed session. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion on this? Heather, would you please take tomorrow?
Councilmember Raditz. Mayor Pro Tem Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Lasky.
Yes.
Mayor Sullivan.
Guys,
We're
hey,
still in meeting.
we're still in a meeting.
Councilmember Keck.
Yes.
Councilmember Grabowski.
Yes.
Councilmember Ruzga.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.